So you have your acoustic guitar, you like how it looks, you like how it feels to play, and you like how it sounds when you jam by yourself in the room. Then you go to your band practice, a church gig, or play at your friend's wedding, plug in your guitar, and this is the sound you get. That's nowhere near how the guitar sounds in the room. In this video, I'm going to show you an all-in-one solution that allows you to take your guitar sound from this to this. The piezo pickup on most acoustic guitars sounds very different than how you perceive the guitar in the room, and that's completely fine, because how can a pickup positioned underneath the saddle pick up all the nuances of your playing? I think you can make a piezo sound very decent with some basic EQ to work in a band mix, but especially in those situations when my acoustic guitar is the only instrument in the band, I find the sounds underwhelming. Now you can obviously get guitars with amazing pickup systems in them, but what if you already have a guitar that you really like? This is my Taylor 110E, a guitar I bought for myself in 2013 as a graduation present. I really like how it looks, I like how it sounds, and it has gone through a decade of Finnish winters and summers at this point. The only thing I don't like about this guitar is the piezo sound. Last year, me and my sister got hired to do a corporate Christmas gig, and I decided to use that opportunity to do something about it. I started looking for options to make my guitar sound the best it can while keeping the setup as portable as possible. And that's when I figured out the Line6 POD GO could be the best solution for my needs. What I want to show you today is my process of creating a great sounding preset for acoustic guitar, and you can obviously repeat these steps on other Helix units as well. And by the way, you can download the POD GO preset by following the link in the description, and there's links to the IR I'm using as well. Oh, and the jam track you heard at the beginning of the video as well. All of that is available for download. By the way, even though I bought the POD GO with my own money, I am bringing this video to you in collaboration with Line6, and I'm getting compensated for this video. So yeah, this is definitely sponsored content. When you're dialing in the sounds, here's something to consider. Record yourself while doing that. Based on my experience, no matter what I did, I was always getting the kind of bleed of the acoustic guitar into my headphones, and that affected how I perceived the sounds. I tried to make my headphones louder. I tried putting this beam blocker thing into my guitar to make it quieter. As the last resort, I even switched to my in-ears, but even that didn't help. The sound I was hearing when recording sounded very different to what was actually recorded when I played it back. I'm not saying you shouldn't use headphones at all, but what I'm saying is be sure to kind of check the recording itself to really hear how it sounds. And why is this important, you may ask? Because that is the sound that will actually go to the front of house. The sound you're hearing when you're recording is not the sound that's going to be sent to the front of house or when you're recording. And since the whole idea of this video is to create a good sounding preset that we can use live and send it to the front of house, we want to make sure it sounds as good as possible, so be sure to check that recording at some point of your process, or maybe as the last thing of your process, and you'll probably find a few more things to tweak. The first step I'm going to do here is not absolutely necessary for you to repeat to get a great sounding preset on your Helix unit or POD GO, that is, but I wanted to go a little bit crazy with my kind of tone chasing, if you will. So the first step I actually want to do is to record how my guitar sounds like mic'd up with real microphones, and then use that clip as a reference when I'll be dialing in the tone on the POD GO using the acoustic IRs. So, as you can guess by these microphones, the first thing to do is to record a good sounding take. By the way, I'm recording with a Shure SM58 here and a Lute LCT 240 Pro on the other side. I made sure that both of the tracks I recorded are in phase, added a little bit of subtractive EQ, removing some of the more boomy frequencies, and then threw in the Crystal Lord Algae plugin by Waves. And yeah, let's take a listen on how the track actually sounds. I really like how that sounds, and I'm going to reference this track when dialing the sounds on the Pod Go, which we're going to do next. Alright, I'm in the Pod Go edit, and it's a clean slate. I immediately jump to the impulse response part because that's where we're going to start. We are going to add an impulse response, and I want to add an impulse response, and we're speaking about an acoustic impulse response, obviously. I want to add something that anyone can download, so it means it has to be out there for free. And I decided to go with the worship tutorials to have kind of a starter pack for acoustic impulse responses. This also means that you can download those impulse responses and the patch I'll be creating here, and you can have exactly the same setup. Before we have anything enabled, here's our lovely DI sound, piezo sound that is. Yeah, so I have already uploaded the impulse responses into the Pod Go. There's only 3 different versions that were meant for a piezo. So what I'm going to do is record a short clip with all 3 of them, then go and compare those to the reference track we recorded earlier. Then we'll know which one gets us closest fastest. Right, we got the clips, and then we just need to compare. I'm gonna say my conclusion is that the clip number 1 is easily the closest one. So we're gonna go with that, or the IR number 2. So yeah, let's pick IR number 2 and use that as the foundation. That gets us very close, and I mean, it doesn't have to be 100% accurate, but let's just get close. Something we're gonna do here right away before we do anything else, because there's these handy low cut and high cut controls, but there's nothing really that useful under, let's say, 75 Hz on the acoustic guitar, and we can take out some of the high end. Okay, now we're losing a lot of top end already, that's too much. 10K. Yeah, that sounds like a well-processed acoustic guitar to me. Let's put it to 11K just for the sake of it, so we're not losing too much of the top end information. Right, so with just the IR, before and after. Oh, I mean, that already sounds great. Now we can do and hunt for a few problematic frequencies. A very simple way to do that is, first of all, start with low frequencies. We're gonna boost this by at least 10 dB, so we can really tell what this is doing. We don't need that low end boost, but we're gonna search. Can you hear? Like that woo frequency kind of stands out. So that could be something we might want to cut out. Yeah, let's go with, I think it was 280. There you go. Let's take that out a little bit, but a couple of dB, 3 dB maybe. Doesn't have to be anything too drastic. to me, it doesn't feel like we're missing anything, but we're adding a little bit of clarity by doing that. So yeah, that's one. So without the EQ now. That just cleans up a little bit and kind of makes, at least to my ears, it makes this guitar sit like right where I would want it in the mix. I want to add a compressor to have something that's kind of, I'm going to place it as one of the last things, maybe before modulation, but after the IR. There's something in this LA studio called peak reduction, and just evens out a lot of stuff. Yeah, it just feels way better to play. I would probably program it as one of these snapshots, so to speak. Here, let's put that into the foot switch number 3, for example. Yeah, and now we can take it out and bring it in depending on the song. Because for some of the finger picking or just pick picking, it's really nice to have something like this. It just makes playing a bit smoother. Over here, I want to probably do something crazy modulation-wise. Maybe do like a... Let's go with simple pitch and... something like that. That's a music idea. Basically, I'd say choose something for this so that you find useful and fun. Something I definitely want to have is a reverb. I'm gonna go with Searchlights because I love it. Oh, by the way, let's program the simple pitch to a foot switch as well. There you go. Get a simple pitch here. It's nice. And as the last thing, well, actually, let's swap places. Let's add a delay here as well. This is something that you might want to have for some of the songs. And then, ladies and gentlemen, our preset is done. We have foot switches for everything. Let us remind ourselves where we kind of started from. So let's take out all of these things. Let's take out simple pitch as well. And I'm going to manually take out the delay because I want to have it always on. So, yeah, this is the starting point, just the piece of sound of the guitar. Then we added an IR. Already a gigantic difference. Then we added a parametric EQ. Then we added the LA Studio comp. Come on, turn. Then we are going to add the Searchlights reverb. And then whenever we feel like it, we can kick in the simple pitch. And if we desire, we can also have some delay, which we can trigger here. And if we need, we can have even more delay. There you go. That concludes the patch building. Obviously, you can change these blocks as you desire. depending on what type of gig you're doing, obviously, as well. Overall, I love this system. And again, I want to remind you, I can still keep using my budget-friendly guitar that I bought myself almost a decade ago. I've always loved how this guitar is to play, but now I can also enjoy the sounds when playing live. And I can send really well processed and thought out signal to the front of house. Obviously, I went a little bit silly with the preset here, but who cares? You can do whatever you want with the effects. And as I've mentioned thousands of times, you can download this POD GO preset by following the link below in the description and then kind of do your own version of that. Also, be sure to download the jam track as well. And if you end up recording a jam on that track, be sure to tag me on any of the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I don't know if you can tag on YouTube. Maybe you can, maybe you don't. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please consider giving this video a like, hit the subscribe button as well. If you got any questions, feel free to ask those in the comment section as well. But now it is time to wrap up. Thank you so much for watching. I shall see you next time.